Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through on creating your first form in Gravity Forms. So by the end of this video you'll actually know how to create your first form in Gravity Forms. Today's example, we're going to actually create a quick newsletter so people can subscribe to your newsletter. Very simple form, and I'll take you through on how to create the form, how to create the various entries, and then we'll embed it into a page. But let's start things off first. So on the left hand side here we've got forms. We've got forms. We just click on forms. I don't have any forms at the moment. I just click add new. It'll come up with this pop-up. Normally I just put in newsletter because obviously just a great description for it. Sometimes you may have different newsletters for different parts of your page. So maybe it could be in the footer, so it sits in your widgets. But I'll just put in your general newsletter. So that just gives me a bit of a better description of the newsletter, because sometimes you can go through pages and you can have I've gone through websites where we've had 30 or 40 different forms for various different calls to action, because we wanted to track it through social media and through client engagement. So we wanted to know which forms were doing better than others. So we created 30 actual forms with thank you pages and things like that, so we could track it. But we'll just take you through the general newsletter. So we say subscribe to WPZA newsletter. Pretty simple. We say we create the form. It'll obviously direct me straight into the section where I can actually create the form. Now there's quite a few ways of doing it. I may move the picture down below of myself, but it'll look a bit strange, but I'm not, because there's the only way to update the page. So generally with the newsletter, a lot of places that I've been given designs from, they normally just have a name and an email. I find that a little bit limiting. I prefer to have a first name and a last name. It helps when you go into MailChimp and those kind of things where you can personalize the newsletters a lot more. So I generally ask for a first name and a last name. There's a few ways of doing it. You can either just use 2 single lines of text for the first name or the last name, but Gravity Forms actually has a name field. And there we go. So we've got name, first name, last name. You can actually take this even further. If you click here to open it, you can actually start asking for prefixes. So Mrs., Miss. You can ask for middle names and a suffix. You can make this a required field, so people have to fill it in to be able to submit the form. You can start putting in placeholders in. So I could put here Fred. So I can put in placeholders for that thing. I won't be doing it here. Advanced, you can obviously start getting to quite advanced sections where you can obviously put in default values, things like that. We're not going to be going through it, it's beyond the scope of this video, but we just put the general required field. I can go into appearance, pretty standard, so general. Next field that we want to put in an email. So there actually is a standard advanced field for Gravity Forms. We put in the email, and that's also literally, we can open that. We can make that a required field. We can allow no duplicates. So by that I mean, if you've already registered for a newsletter on a site, you don't want to go there again and then go resubmit it. Maybe this way, no duplicates. So if you have subscribed to the newsletter before, it won't allow you to do it again. Appearance, pretty much the standard. So say your name.com, or something to that effect, to make it fairly simple. I'm just going to do those two fields. Now I'm not going to, normally you would say, do you want to subscribe to a newsletter? This is, I'm actually asking people to subscribe to the newsletter, so I shouldn't have to have an opt-in, but generally it is a good idea to have an opt-in. So what we do is we do a checkbox. Okay, there we go. Okay, so literally I put your newsletter. I'd get rid of the other options. This is obviously just to cover yourself. I'd have to, you don't have to make this required, but yes, I'd like to subscribe to a newsletter, and obviously people have to tick that to obviously subscribe to the newsletter. Like I said, I'm just going to move this quickly. I'm just going to say update. Okay, we are saved. Now, literally, I'd like to go use this form now on an actual page, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the page. Now, from here, you can obviously you can go to the settings. So there's form settings over here. Subscribe to the newsletter. You can change the title, description. You can put the label, the placements. You say, please subscribe. So now I'm actually changing the actual button text to say subscribe to newsletter. I can limit the entries per user. I can schedule the form. Now this is a nice one here, this enable anti-spam honeyspot. It obviously it puts in a hidden field that that has to be, I think it has to be empty for it to, because what will happen is a bot will come to the page, it'll see that all the fields are there, fill in what it needs to fill in, and then submit it. And this way it creates a field that a bot will fill in, and then it obviously won't put it into your thing. It's a nice way of combating spam. Update the form settings. Now I'm going to actually go put it on a page for us. So we go through to pages. I actually created a page earlier, newsletter. Let's go edit it. Pretty simple. I go to where I want it, and then I can go add my form. So literally that's how simple it was. I say general newsletter. I normally disable the form title and the form description because I normally use it on the page. I normally enable Ajax, and Ajax is just a way of communicating with the server, and then I insert the form. So there we go. There's the shortcode being put into the form. I update this page, and then I go view it. So I go view the page. Okay, there we go. So what we do is here's literally the newsletter page, and you can see the first name, last name, email, newsletter, subscribe to newsletter, or the button that we changed. So we put maidens info, and yes, please subscribe to the newsletter. And see, say if I had left that out and I press subscribe to newsletter, it would say there's problems on the form. This field needs to be required, info at WPZA, and then I subscribe to the newsletter. Thanks for contacting us. We'll get in contact with you shortly. That's the standard response that comes with Gravity Forms. If you go here to Forms, you can actually go to Settings, to Confirmations. And it says thanks for contacting us, and you can actually edit that now. So you can actually change the default confirmation. So you say thanks for subscribing to our newsletter or something to that effect. Then the other one is the notifications. Now this is the email that gets sent out to the admin user. I'm going to see if I can actually open that email for you. I'm just going to go here and just refresh here. I'm just going to see if it comes up. There we go. I'm just going to drag it across. And then this is the email that I received from the system. So I'm just going to close that. And so here you can actually fill in the kind of confirmation that you want. You can also put in confirmations that the user will receive. Here we'll go look at the entries. And there we are. So there we go, guys. That was my first video on creating a form in Gravity Forms. What we'll do in the next series is we'll start integrating that same form into MailChimp, and we'll be working with the confirmations a little bit better, maybe using some conditional logic for the forms, so people could maybe subscribe to two separate kind of newsletters. These are the kind of things that you can do with Gravity Forms. Listen, guys, if you've got any comments or questions, please put them down in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. Please subscribe to our channel. and please share our video. We'd love other people to be able to learn more about Gravity Forms. But thanks a lot, guys, for watching this whole way through, and I'll chat to you guys soon. Cheers, bye.